Are you ready? 20 seconds start now. Ten seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
All right, Cheese. We decided last minute we got to go live. We got to talk about the NFL schedule. And when we do live special shows, we got to have special music, something nobody's really heard before. Yeah, why not? I saw you over there doing your little...
Well, I'm happy Ian Happ hit a home run, but not happy he hit against the Braves.
Well, you know, the Braves have won 2 already. So if the Cubs win 1, you said on Tuesday show you didn't want to sweep. So there you go.
They're up 2-0 in the 8th. Yeah. So.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Lights Out Sports Podcast NFL schedule release show or special, however you want to do it. It says special on the one on the bottom. It says show on the other one. So, whichever one. I made it show because it's a little shorter, right? Kind of like my memory span, a little shorter. All right, so we are
like Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Speaking of Kyler Murray, we are going to look at his old team schedule, the Arizona Cardinals schedule. We're going to look at the first week of the NFL. We're going to look at Christmas, Sunday night, Thursday night, Monday night, Thanksgiving. You really want to look at the miles that teams are going to travel. I can't wait to get to that part of the show.
Absolutely.
And then we are going to start off with this, because Cheese, you said earlier that a couple of these networks are looking at these schedules and then trying to predict the team's record. Why, in your opinion, can you not do that based on this schedule release?
Predicting win-loss, even week 1 is dumb. But even like oh, that looks like a loss. Week 15, that's a win. That's a loss. You don't know injuries. You don't know if there's breakout players. You don't know the situation. Everything changes. Like there was, the Bears and Patriots went worst to first. You just don't know what's going to happen. Like the Seahawks, who predicted them to win the Super Bowl? Nobody. Who predicted Patriots Seahawks? So you don't know who's going to be good, who's going to be bad at this point. Even week 1, you don't know because there could be some injuries in training camp. So these the coverage, and they're predicting going game. Oh, that's a win, that's a loss. So they're 10-7, or I had them 12-5. But this schedule, when they played this team and when their bye is, I think they're more of a 10-win team. You don't know. It's just insane.
All right, I'll give you all that. It's just fun to predict, but we'll get to some of those things here in just a few moments. I do want to remind everybody that we had a show on Tuesday night, myself, Cheese, and then we had a special guest, Isaac, from Fun Football Pod. That's where you can get him on X at Fun Football Pod. Another Green Bay Packer guy, Cheese and him went back and forth a little bit. They agreed on most things, and I just sat over here and listened. So.
You had some really good points, like when you didn't take a single quarterback over Jordan Love the last 5 years that was drafted. That was great podcast,
right?
I really enjoyed that.
Didn't you though? I mean, you shouldn't smile so big when you're saying it. I guess you're saying you're enjoying it though. So
even Isaac took Drake May. He took one quarterback. You and I agree. We didn't think anyone we'd take Jordan Love over every quarterback since 2021. Not since before that, because we wouldn't take him over Joe Burrow. We're not crazy. Right. But yeah.
But I will agree, Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback, right? Or would you say top 5?
Let's talk about that in August when we do our preview. But that's I don't know if I go that far.
Point at me. Sure.
I was pointing you up let's make it a point.
Since we keep pointing at each other with one, let's take week 1 and let's throw that graphic up here on the screen and let's look at it. Here is the week 1 graphic. Let me take our banner out the very top of it so that you can see everything. There we go. So this is week 1. There's Wednesday night football week one, Patriots Seahawks. There's Thursday night football week one, San Francisco and LA. Any of these games really intrigue you? I mean, what are we looking at here, Chiefs?
A lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of really fun matchups. What they did was they did Jets Titans because, throw that in there. Browns Jaguars isn't real sexy, but the fact that Bills Texans and Bears Panthers are 1:00 starts, that tells you how good the week is, because a lot of times those are going to be the 4:25 game of the week. So, it's just a really fun week. They always do this. They put some really good matchups, either rivalries or just two really good teams, and then weeks 2 and 3 are duds. They only have a few good games, but yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun week, and we have a Wednesday and a Thursday game. So yeah, we're going to get a lot of football that week. What is there a game out there? Oh, look, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay is 1:00 too.
Yeah, I like that. I like that matchup a lot. I think that's going to be a fantastic game. And then the other game that I think is going to mean a lot, people may disagree with me here, the Jets and the Titans. I think if the Titans can start out 1-0 by beating the Jets, maybe you're giving that team, that fan base, some hope, and that the players on that team some hope that they can at least improve on what they did last year. If they were playing Buffalo, or if they were playing, Kansas City or something like that, to where you're like, oh no, we're going to start out 0-1 right out of the gate, then that kind of dampens everything down. But I think if you play the Jets, it looks like it's at home, right? Jets at Titans.
It's in Tennessee.
Okay, I'm assuming that, because the Jets are the first emblem and the Titans are the second one, that's the way it works.
Yep.
So I think that could be really important to the Titans and their fan base. What do you think about that?
Yeah, possibly. Then they play the Eagles at home, at the Giants, their next 2 games after that. Eagles, okay, at home, maybe the shot. So maybe they win their home games, and then they play the Giants, who weren't very good next year. Yeah, that's possible. But I think that's the least sexiest. Like, of all the matchups, probably not the least sexiest. But I get what you're saying.
It's not that it's sexy; it's that it means a lot. I mean, that could really mean a lot to the Texans fan base.
They picked 2 and 4 in the draft. These were 2 bad teams last year. One of them is going to be 1-0. One of them is going to win their first game. Let's talk about the Raiders-Dolphins for a second here.
Really? You were making fun of my bad game, and you want to talk about Raiders-Dolphins?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if Miami asked for this, because their second game is at San Francisco. They play 3 games west of the Mississippi all year on the road. So I'm wondering if Miami said, can we play the 49ers and Raiders back-to-back? So they're at Las Vegas, at San Francisco. I'm guessing they'll stay on the West Coast. I bet they asked for that. Just a thought. They do play at Denver later in the year, but everything else is, east of the Mississippi. So I just wanted to point that out. That's brutal for the Dolphins to go all the way to Vegas. I doubt they're going to come back. And then at San Francisco, Miami's probably going to be, absolute dog shit anyway. But pardon my French. But I just thought that was interesting. I looked at every team's schedule, right before we went live, and I'm just looking at it, it's like, God, that is a brutal start.
All right, so you've already talked a little bit about this. Let's do this again. I'm going to leave the graphic off the top. I'm going to pull up something else here. I know you really want to get into this, and since you talked about the Dolphins going out west twice, and then they play Denver again, all these miles that these teams are going to go on, let's pull up this graphic real quick. And there we go. I know it's a little small for old people like me. You're going to have to squint a little bit to see this. But here are the miles traveled for the NFL teams in 2026. What jumps out to you, Chiefs?
The 49ers got absolutely screwed. I know a lot of that's Australia, but even if you take away Australia, that's still unbelievable. And that's why the Rams is number 2. But you have literally a team. We can't quite see 32 on the screen, but 32, the Panthers have 8,000 miles, right? That another team has 38,000. Now, we know the West Coast teams are going to have a higher one anyway. Seattle Seahawks, I mean, there's a stretch of like three of 5 years they had the most because they're far west. So the West's going to have a higher anyway, but that's a huge advantage for someone like the Panthers, for someone like the Browns, 89,000 versus 38,000. You're making the 49ers play in Australia and Mexico City. I think that's completely unfair. I would be livid if I'm a 49ers fan. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think the Browns really come in with this because all of their division rivals are really close to them. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. They're all within, just a few miles as far as that part goes. And some of the other teams really have their bases kind of stretched out. And I know we've talked about realignment before, not just in this sport, but in other sports too. And I think that is where the realignment part can really make a difference when you look at these miles. That's what kind of jumps out at me on this whole thing.
The rivalries are so huge now. I don't think they'll ever do realignment. Like, there's no way Dallas and like the Cowboys and Giants, there's no way they're not going to be in the division. Like, there's just no way, even though they're not very close geographically. Another thing, it's like the Green Bay Packers are 28th. The way the schedule is set up for the Packers, they play New Orleans on December 6th. After that, for the last 5 games, all they do is travel to Chicago, which is like a 45-minute flight. So they're at home against, I think, Bills, Dolphins, at Chicago, and then they're at home against the Texans and Lions. So Green Bay, the last 5 games, will travel 45 minutes in the air total. That's a huge advantage late in the season as well. See, I'm not even being a homer. That's a big advantage for the Packers.
It is.
But as you can see, a lot, obviously teams that go into Europe, teams that go into Australia, they're going to be higher. But even so, that's a huge advantage for teams, like the Panthers, like the Browns, over those West Coast teams.
I'm going to add some of this stuff back here real quick. So I'm going to put that ticker at the bottom so that you guys know that we are live with you right now. You can chat with us as well. You have a question, you have a comment on what we are talking about, then by all means, go ahead and put something in the chat for us. We'll do our best to answer it as we go along with the show. So you also talked about bye weeks right there. As we put ourselves back up here, we show everybody the moneymaker there. He's covering up part of it with the cup, but that's the moneymaker right there. Yes.
Football. Follow me on X at Football Cheese.
You got YouTube, that shameless plug in pretty quick.
Yeah, I'll just get it there. And
yeah,
all
12 minute mark.
SM. Follow us there on X as well. All gloves off SM and Football Cheese on X.
We appreciate that. We really do. We got a ton of stuff that you can follow. I won't go through all the podcasts right now in this special, but you can follow a bunch of stuff all in one place at All Gloves Off SM on X and All Gloves Off Sports Media on YouTube. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Cheese. Okay, so you mentioned the bye weeks. I know you've got it. I don't have it actually to pull up in front of everybody, but you have the bye weeks there and on your computer with you. So I noticed that your Packers are also, I think, set up pretty well with the bye week 11, if I'm not mistaken, kind of right in the middle, right? That's ideally as a team, that's where you wanted that. It's kind of right in the middle, right?
Yeah, it's not just. It's even better than that, believe it or not, because they play Wednesday against the Rams on Thanksgiving Eve. So they get a week and a half off, then another week and a half off. So it's not just 2. It's not like we play every week. And the Rams do as well. So it's not like we play a week every week and then all of a sudden 2 weeks off. They get a week and a half off, then another week and a half off before they play the Saints. And so that's ideal. That's what you want. So the Rams-Packers play Thanksgiving Eve night, Wednesday. First time NFL has done that. And both teams have a bye before, and then we'll get a week and a half before their next opponent. So that does suck for the Saints, and it also sucks for the Chiefs. That's who the Rams will play after that. Actually, they'll play the next Thursday. The Chiefs play on Thanksgiving. Never mind. So not a really big advantage, just for the Packers. But I really like that. And they had an early bye last year, and it really hurt them. I think late in the year they were so banged up and they collapsed. They lost their last 5 games. So I like the later bye.
So is it in LA at least? If they kind of get
it is.
Okay, so maybe that's the trade-off, right? It's in LA, you get the home game out of it on the eve of Thanksgiving, and then since the Packers have to travel like that, they give them a couple extra days.
And and then they're at New Orleans, but they have all that extra time. And my friend John, he watches sometimes. I don't think he's watching tonight, but he texted me and said, "Oh, that's a loss." Just what we talked about, it's a loss in Rams. And I said, "Well, you know what? Believe it or not, LaFleur is 5-0 against McVay. 5-0. And he was McVay's offensive coordinator. He was, under McVay. And the Packers have won 10 of the last 11 against the Rams. The last time they lost to the Rams, greatest show on turf, Kurt Warner, Orlando Pace, Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk team. It's the last time the Packers actually lost to the Rams. So you never know.
You never know. Now, okay, so can you help me out here? Again, I know you've got the schedule in front of you as well. So who do the Packers play right before that Wednesday game? And so do they really only play on?
But both the Rams and Packers have a bye week, so they have a week and a half.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
When I saw the schedule, I was like, wow, they're going to make them play on Sunday and then turn around and play on Wednesday? That's worse, obviously, than playing on Thursday. But, okay, so they give them a bye beforehand.
Yes. And, Green Bay, another thing is they have 2 Thursday games, week 3 against Atlanta, week 8 against Carolina.
Yeah, we'll get to all that, buddy.
Well, real quick, finish.
I know.
But both at home. Having a Thursday short week, the home game is such a huge advantage because not only a short week if you have to travel. So
it's called spitballing. We're just
Well, I'm just saying it's a huge advantage that both the Thursday games are at home.
Oh, you got both of them at home. Yeah, you're right. That is a really big advantage. You're 100%
going on the road
right.
on a short week is really tough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So what about the rest of the bye weeks? Is there anybody that you can look at those bye weeks and go, oh, man, I would not want to have this bye week, or I wouldn't want to have that bye week? How does that work as far as you think the Packers have it well? Who has it bad?
Dallas and Arizona, week 14. That's way too late.
Let's just pile on the poor Arizona.
I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. The 2024 Baltimore Ravens were loaded. That was such a good team. Not so much last year. And they ran out of gas by week 10, 11, 12. They lost. They had a stretch where they lost 3 or 4. Couple teams. They might have even lost the Browns. They lost to a couple teams they shouldn't have because they were just exhausted. They were tired. They were banged up. Mm-hmm. And because of that, they fell to the 3 seed in the AFC. I thought they were the best team that year. They lost by 2 points at Buffalo. I thought they were better than Kansas City. I thought they were my Super Bowl prediction that year. But they didn't make it. But I think because they had that late bye, and Arizona and Dallas have the week 14 bye. So I'd rather have the week 5 bye like Carolina and Kansas City do than the week 14. 13 straight games is brutal. But Arizona just got screwed over.
Yeah, we'll
by
look
the schedule, by everything.
Here in a few. We'll talk about them in a minute. I gotta get my tear ducts ready before we do that. For God's sake.
Arizona Cardinals, man, it's going to be rough.
It is going to be rough for them, 100%. 100%, it's going to be rough for them. Okay, so let me see here. Let me take this away. I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself as I do other stuff here. So let's look at Thanksgiving. You mentioned Thanksgiving. Let's pull that graphic up here. So there are the Thanksgiving Day games. Let me see if I need to take the banner off. No, not really. All right, so we can put that back up there. The top part of it up at the top is just the headline for it. So you actually see the games as you just spoke about. Thanksgiving Eve, the first time the NFL's done this. Packers at Rams. Then Thanksgiving Day, you've got Bears, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs. First of all, Chiefs, these 4 games overall, what do you think about the overall slate on Thanksgiving Eve and Day?
Oh, it's tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous. And there's also Denver,
Pittsburgh
on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Look, they want viewership, no doubt about it. Rams, Packers. Oh man, that should be epic. Bears, Lions, division rivals should be amazing. Eagles, Cowboys, they hate each other. Cowboys have actually had pretty good success against the Eagles at home. And then Bills, Chiefs is always so entertaining. Bills seem to beat them in the regular season every time and then always lose to them in playoffs. But yeah, I can't wait for Thanksgiving. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wow. Yeah. But I'll say this, it sucks for the Bears, Eagles, and Bills. Short week and go on the road that late in the year. It's a huge advantage having that game at home.
So I want to say 2 things. First of all, I want to try to do the watch along on the Thanksgiving Eve. Well, no, you don't like doing it when your team plays, do you?
We'll see. Yeah, okay. I think we could probably.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I
think we probably can. When last year I was actually writing Packer articles for a Packer website, so I needed to take notes and focus on the game more. But I'm not doing that anymore. So
no, you don't need to. You're football with cheese, man. You don't need to do that stuff.
Yes,
So
yeah.
we'll look at it. Maybe we'll do that.
I've used to write for some publications, but I don't like writing articles. I like doing videos so much better. Yeah, we can do that. That'd be a lot.
It's because of that face of yours. You can't see that on the written article. Yeah. So I don't know if I agree with what you said earlier that they really want viewership. They're going to get viewership anyway. This is the only thing going on Thanksgiving Eve and Thanksgiving Day. Why do we need to do such good games? Maybe one, but I don't know if you need to do all three on Thanksgiving Day that have the firepower and the star power and the meaning behind these games. Division games, 2 of the 3 of them. So, or 2 of the 4.
Yeah.
Why?
So
Why,
I actually disagree a little with you on that.
Okay.
I think you're with family. You need a reason to look. These games are huge. If you put, okay, let's look at an example. If you put, let's see, how about, New Orleans, Arizona on Thanksgiving. Okay, how many people are going to say, oh, I know we're sitting having a table. I got to turn the game on. It's the Saints Cardinals. No one can use that as an excuse.
Not if it's the Saints Cardinals. No.
There are casual fans that maybe only watch big games, or don't watch. Only watch okay, who's playing? Oh, Giants are playing the Titans. Nah, but then Rams Packers. Oh yeah, let's watch. So they're trying to get all these family members to watch. They want them to leave the table. They're going to put the best games out there, and that's why they did this. So I think it's not just, you're going to get viewership anyway, but they want more than that. They want record numbers. They want people an excuse to stop spending time with their families and turn on the television.
A second thing that I want to bring up about these games, I don't see, maybe you know the answer to this. I believe all of these games are going to be on like CBS or ABC or NBC. I don't think any of these things you have to have a streaming. There's just not a Amazon or a Netflix or anything like that. Do you think that makes a difference to the casual fan?
I think the Friday game last year was on Prime.
Okay, so the Friday game is going to be on Prime this year. I did see that.
Okay.
Denver at Pittsburgh, I believe, is how it is.
That was on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
We can definitely talk about this when we get closer to season. I absolutely hate that you have to have Netflix, you have to have Peacock, you have to have Prime, to see all the games. I think there's 8 or 9 different channels you have to watch all the games. I think it's ridiculous. But I prefer they should all just be on Fox, CBS, NBC, and ESPN. That's it, in my opinion. But that's good if you don't have to get all these streaming services. And you know what they do? The streaming services, what they do is like Peacock. Okay, Peacock paid all the owners $2 million to have a playoff game. They gave them all $2 million, and they all took it, and they got one playoff game. And you have to have Peacock to watch that game. That's insane. So there are people that missed because they can't afford it or don't want to pay for a month of Peacock. They missed their team's playoff game. Insane. I absolutely hate it, but that's a topic.
Well, yes, but I mean, Peacock's $10 or $12 or something. I mean,
it's not like
it's not like that other 4-letter thing where they've got now control of MLB and you have to pay them $30 a month and then you got to pay the subscription. Well, never mind. Don't get me started. This is an NFL show. All right, let's look at the Christmas games.
We do need to talk about that at some point, though.
Yes, we do. I always say, on the other podcast that I do, the Sports Pulpit, where I don't yell and don't scream. I'm probably not going to be able to say that when we talk about that. So,
and if you watch the Sports Pulpit, which he did some great stuff on the supplemental draft, sometimes he'll be like Ballantyne out. Sometimes you do that.
And then tomorrow on the Sports Pulpit, by the way, I know something that you're going to really love. 18 things that you may not know about Bobby Cox. That'll be tomorrow. Already done, already scheduled. It'll come out noon Arizona time tomorrow. You guys can adjust to wherever you are, 3 hours ahead. So it'll be 3 o'clock, I believe, on the East Coast. And Cheese can take it from there. I mess those times up all the time. All right, let's look at Christmas.
You're in Pacific time right now. In the winter months, you're in Mountain time. If that helps, probably not. But go ahead.
Probably not. No, it doesn't. So Christmas Eve, Texans at Eagles. The Christmas triple header: Packers Bears, Bills Broncos, Rams Seahawks. Before you talk, I've got a problem with these games. Eagles, Packers, Bills, Rams. Seems like it's the same 4 or 5 teams. Does that tell you that those are the only teams that draw, or what can we assume because they're the only, it's like those same 4 or 5 teams in pretty much every one of these graphics?
It tells you that the NFL thinks they're going to get those team spring ratings. That's what it tells you. So yeah, I think that's pretty much that simple. But here's what I have a problem with it. Well, this is like indirect problem, but
Okay.
Why do the Rams and Seahawks play each other the first time on Christmas Day? Those were 3 epic games last year. All 3 were close. They were incredible. They're the 2 best teams probably in the league right now. Why do we have to wait till Christmas to see them? And I cannot stand it when they play twice in 3 weeks. They play week 16 and week 18. I cannot stand that. The Packers and Bears did it last year. There should be a rule. You have to play your division rival once in the first 10 weeks and once in the second half. There should be, like Bears, Packers, week 5, week 16. Perfect. Let's do that. But we have to wait till Christmas Day to see Rams Seahawks. That could have been an early game, like a late September, early October Sunday night football game, and then in Christmas Day. That the rematch. So, but I get what you're saying. Broncos also was another team that's twice. They're on Black Friday, and now they're on again. So obviously they're a big draw. But look, what do all these teams have in common? They all made the playoffs last year.
Well, that's true too. So should you? That's a great point and a good question. Should you reward those teams with primetime games that made the playoffs the previous season?
Yeah. And we go back to the Thanksgiving. The Chiefs didn't make it, but still the Chiefs. They're still a draw. They're still expected to be better this year. So, I mean, obviously Packers, Bears, it doesn't matter if one of them's bad. That's going to be a big draw. But, Houston, Philadelphia is not a big rivalry, but both teams made the playoffs. And
Right.
I'm looking forward to these games. Definitely. Obviously, I'm going to watch all of them anyway. But I actually didn't necessarily want Packers. I like that the Packers on Christmas. Packers, Bears, because I got a prediction. You ready? The Packers are going to be up 3 scores at halftime and still lose because Matt LaFleur gives them the game. That's my prediction.
I will tell you this that I like about these games, and I was doing some other stuff today, so I didn't get a chance to look at these schedules as much as you probably did. But here's why I like it: because it's Christmas. Philadelphia, good chance of snow. Chicago, a really good chance of snow. Denver, a good chance of snow. Probably not in Seattle, but 3 of the 4 games. I mean, especially being here in Arizona, I love to sit on my sofa and point and laugh at people who are freezing to death while I'm still at Christmas in 60 or 70 degree weather. So that's great for me.
That's a great point. All of them cold weather teams. So Mike wants the Leon Lett game. He wants the Leon Lett Dolphins Cowboys Thanksgiving repeat. He wants one of those.
I'd be okay with that, as long as I don't have to be there, and I'm not going to be in any of these games.
You will be in Arizona on your couch in your shorts and t-shirt because it's so warm.
Yes, very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, I just ended up, I was looking at these and I just ended up seeing that. So yeah, I kind of like the fact that it looks like there's at least a possibility of snow in 3 of the 4 of those cities. So I like it.
Do you like the we had the graphic for week 1. Do you like the Super Bowl repeat week 1? Because I've seen mixed opinions on it. Like we just saw that in the Super Bowl. Like let's get like an NFC rival for the Seahawks. Do you like that the Patriots are at Seattle?
That's a good question.
Some people love it, but I was surprised how many people did not like it.
I think I'd rather have it maybe not buried in the schedule, but give it to me like 3 or 4 weeks in, so that you can almost build up to it, especially, in the content creation business like what you and I are in. It's kind of nice to have something like week 3, week 4, like we're doing.
Right.
Excuse me, we're doing a bunch of guests, right? We just had Isaac on from At Fun Football Podcast. This coming Tuesday, we'll have another guest, Tommy Bennett, TJ Bennett 37 on X. You can get him there. And then the week after that, we're going to do Arizona State football, ASU football, with
awesome.
Michael at Diablo005 is where you can get him. So that we're having the guests on. It's nice to be able to talk about who those guests are going to be 2 or 3 weeks out. And I think if you had that Super Bowl rematch, 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks out, I think that would be a little better as far as being able to talk about it more.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, the rumor was once the Rams were playing in Australia, the rumor was it was Patriots or Bears. I think the Bears would have been a better choice. They were coming off, they won the North. It wasn't expected. They won a playoff game. Like, there's momentum for the Bears. I thought that would have been a better choice. And then let's do, like you said, Super Bowl rematch. Let's do it week 7 or 8. Let's do it in the middle of the year. Oh, Super Bowl rematch. When people are kind of, oh yeah, NFL. That's what I would have done. And some people make good points on X. When I saw that, I'm like, at first I thought, oh, cool, Super Bowl rematch. But it's like, we just saw that. That's the last game. And it was not close. So it's not like what came down to the field goal was 35-38 or something. No. So yeah, I agree with you. I would have picked the either the Rams, but they were in Australia, or the Bears, and done it in the middle of the year.
Well, maybe that means we shouldn't have games in Australia.
We shouldn't have any international games. We shouldn't go to Mexico City. We shouldn't go to Europe. We should have 0 international games. We should keep every game in America, where millions of dollars are spent in every game in NFL City, among all the fans, all the people, and it helps the economy, and we send it overseas. Screw you.
Well, this team has every game in America, but I don't really think it's going to matter.
Okay.
These poor guys here, they should just give up right now.
Just throw in the towel, huh?
I mean, look at this schedule. This is absolutely insane. And, they actually do have their very first game. So you can look forward to Cardinals and Carolina Panthers having the, the Hall of Fame game, correct?
Yeah, so the first 4 on this list, if you're watching, are preseason games. The first game is the at the Chargers, which they're going to be 12 to 14 point underdogs.
Wow. Yeah.
That's just a guess.
And I mean, the reason why Cheese said, if you're watching, you're thinking, well, of course I'm watching. Well, we do have other platforms, ladies and gentlemen. You got Facebook, you got YouTube, but I know a lot of you guys are watching now. We even are on Twitch
people watch
now.
The next day. Yeah.
Yes, people do watch the next day. And then if they can watch it in their cars the next day, if they really want to do that, we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, and we are on iHeartRadio as well. So that's what Cheese was meaning by, if you don't happen to be watching, or whatever that was he said there. So I understood where he was going, just making sure everybody else does too.
Let's just talk about this schedule real quick. Let's just look at this, okay?
I mean, look at this thing.
Okay. So their first 4 home games, 4 home games are Seahawks, Lions, Broncos, and Rams. They're going to be underdogs in every home game. Maybe they might be a favorite against Washington. Maybe. And then if they're not Philadelphia, the Jets. That's the first home game they might be a favorite in. Holy crap, this is brutal. And that's just home. We haven't even talked about the road games. Because the Chargers and 49ers, their first 2 games, they made the playoffs last year. Then they had the Giants, and then the Rams also made the playoffs last year. Like, that is absolutely brutal. It's the toughest schedule, in my opinion, in the entire NFL. And they have a very late bye, like we just said. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, I know.
He is already crying.
I mean, unless you're a fan of the other team, there's no need to go to any of these home games. Let's just put it out there and say it right now. There isn't. The home games are in red. So Dallas, LA, Washington, Philadelphia. We do have the Jets. So I'll cross my fingers and hope for that one. We also have the Raiders. So maybe San Francisco, Denver, Detroit, Seattle. All of those teams are at home. I think they can only win 3 games here.
You never know.
New
I'll
Orleans,
say this.
Las Vegas.
Arizona probably should have won 6 or 7 games last year. But they lost like every close game. They just kept blowing fourth quarter games. This year, they probably should win like 2, and they'll probably win 4 or 5, just because. But it's really tough for them. One, their division is brutal. The other 3 teams made the playoffs, including the world champions. The 2 best teams in the NFC last year are in their division. And then they also play the AFC West, who had 3 playoff teams, and the Raiders should be much better. They really, I think, improved the roster. So just who they play is the 2 divisions they play is just brutal. So yeah. And Washington had a bad year last year, but they should be better. So it's not like, New Orleans could be a lot better. Holy crap.
Yeah, this is brutal.
Hey, you play the Jets. There you go.
Everybody's going to be doing what their tight end's doing on the picture right here, just yelling and screaming the entire time. No, not. Yeah. So.
Oh, by the way, speak of Trey McBride.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at a stat. I was shocked. He was the only tight end to get 1,000-yard season, right?
Okay.
He had 1,239 yards. Second place was Kyle Pitts, 938. He had 301 more yards than any tight end. Like more than 25% more than the next highest tight end last year as far as yards in a season.
Yeah, and he had Jacoby Brissett thrown to him the entire time.
That's incredible. 1,239 yards. Second place, 938, and it was Kyle Pitts. He's not even that great. I saw that stat. It's like, wow. I think people, hardly anyone's talking about what kind of season Trey McBride had. It's a record-setting season for catches by a tight end. Hardly anyone's talking about it. But he was tremendous last year.
He was.
Look, Green Bay almost lost to him because he was just destroying them. He really was a big problem for the Packers in that game.
Very true. So, you've talked about that. I want to tell people a little bit about this. I like your conspiracy theory on the Cardinals, if you will. You said it on this past Tuesday's show.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are watching now and haven't had a chance to go back and look at it, hundreds of people already had. You can join them. You can do it right here on All Gloves Off Sports Media on YouTube. Just simply click on the feed for Tuesday's Lights Out Sports podcast, and you'll hear this from Cheese. I don't want to give it all away, but I'll tease it a little. Cheese thinks that there was a reason that they drafted Carson Beck in the 4th round. And his reasoning makes some sense. Go back and take a listen to it. In the background right now, as you can see, we have we have the stadium in the background right now. When you're watching our show, Lights Out Sports Podcast, it changes. You'll have a football background and you'll have a baseball background. So you can at least know when we talk football and baseball. If you're not a big baseball fan, we won't do anything to you too bad. Maybe egg your house if we can find you, but not too bad. So you don't need to watch all the baseball content. You can just watch the football content and wait for Cheese to talk about his plan, what he thinks the Cardinals are going to do with Carson Beck. All right, guys. So the other thing that we've got to do here is we need to look at the standalone games. We don't need to look at your cups, or we've already done that. So the standalone games here, I'm leaving everything off. Football with Cheese, yes, on Twitter. Football Cheese on Twitter, and on YouTube it's Football with Cheese. So those are the 2 spots.
And on YouTube, the Sports Pulpit on All Gloves Off Sports Media he's doing lots of good stuff. Bobby Cox stuff coming, and all that supplemental draft stuff was awesome. I actually did not know Bernie Kosar was in the supplemental draft. That's pretty cool. I did not know that. Yeah.
See, that's what we try to do here. We try to educate you. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, we talk about the supplemental draft and what it means. Then we talk about Brandon Sorsby and his stats and what it may mean if he has to go through the supplemental draft. Then, as Cheese just mentioned, we talk about 4 people who went through the supplemental draft.
Chris Carter. I didn't know that
either.
Don't give
them all away.
Sorry.
Brian Bosworth. Don't give them all away. I mean,
Brian Bosworth, I had his football card. He had the coolest mullet. Awesome.
We may as well just tell you, Terrell Pryor's the 4th one. So, we look at those 4 NFL NFL players, how they did in the supplemental draft, and then we try to see, we think where Sorsby will fall as far as comparing them to those four. Then the one that was my favorite, which was, is gambling ruining college football? I gave a lot of stats, some opinions on that one. So take a listen there. And then lastly, the one I released today, if you haven't had a chance to see it, the teams that I think would be interested in Brandon Sorsby if he does go through the draft. So there you go. Those are the last 5 editions of the Sports Pulpit, all within the realm of the supplemental draft. Thank you for your nice words, Cheese. All right, we need to look at these standalone games, the Sunday night, the Thursday night, and the Monday night. Which one you want to look at first, Cheese? Sunday, Thursday, Monday?
You pick.
Oh, you're going to let me pick. All right, let's look at Monday. It's the smaller graphic, so it's the Monday night schedule, and then it also has the NFL Network schedule. This year, I believe they have a few games that are just exclusively on NFL Network.
Those are international games.
Those are the international games. All right, got it. So look at these games. I see my Bengals are on the international schedule, and they're also on the Monday Night Football schedule. I see Washington, their opponent's on there twice, it looks like. Yeah. I'm getting kind of old,
forward
Cheese.
to
This
Bengals
is a small
Washington.
graphic here.
I'm looking forward to Bengals Commanders. Do you remember the game 2 years ago, or I guess a year and a half? It's like Jaden Daniels. That was his like coming out game. It was like he was having this great rookie year. Is he real? That game, he single-handedly destroyed the Bengals. Like some of those throws he made in that game, it was either Sunday or Monday night game. Some of the throws, maybe Thursday, I was just like, holy crap! Like Jaden Daniels. This
could
is
have been Tuesday or Wednesday too.
Yeah, but no, I look forward to that game. Should be a lot of scoring. That should be fun. I got to say, this is a really good Monday night slate. I used to be Monday nights that like half of them would be duds, especially late in the year. They'd have teams that were out of the playoffs, but this is pretty good. I just don't love the Giants have 4 primetime games. Okay, the Giants aren't good. Maybe they'll be a little better, but the Jets have 0. So if the thinking is, okay, they're New York, it's a big market, let's put them in prime time. That's not the case because the Jets have 0. Why are the Giants playing a game late in the year when they'll probably be out of the playoffs? Yes, the Lions will be important for them. I don't love that game, but for the most part, this is a really fun schedule. I like it. What do you think?
I mean, I'm looking at the games here. I don't blame them for not putting the Cardinals in a primetime game. You have the list, Cheese. What other teams are not in primetime games as we kind of talk about this?
Yeah, so the Jets, like I said, Cardinals, Titans makes sense. They haven't been good for a few years. Dolphins, they're awful, just complete garbage. They're horrible. And then the Raiders, a little surprised the Raiders because they did have Mendoza first pick, but I think it's because they signed Kirk Cousins. They're like, okay, Mendoza might not even be in this game. So those are the 5 teams with 0 primetime games. And the Saints have 1 here, and somehow the Browns have 1, not in this list. How do the Browns have a primetime game? I don't know.
I don't know. They bribed somebody.
I would not put the Browns on anything. In fact, I would put the Browns at 1:00 Eastern on Sunday at every single game.
So the next to the last week, Cheese, I'm curious. I know you have the schedule pulled up in front of you. So the next to the last week,
yes,
you have the Giants and the Giants and the Lions. Towards the end of the season, I would think that if Mendoza is going to play, it would be towards the end of the season when they're already out of it. Okay, we're not playing Kirk Cousins now. Let's put Mendoza in there. Let's see what he's got. Tell me, Cheese, would that be, look at your schedule for me if you would that week's Raider game be more interesting than the Giants-Lions game?
No, they host the Titans. But no,
Okay.
they're not going to put the Raiders late in the year. Like they shouldn't put the Giants. You want to put teams late in the year that you think will make the playoffs. You want it like New England, Kansas City. Okay, that makes sense. Houston, Green Bay makes sense. Pittsburgh, Jacksonville. Okay, you want to put games where teams made the playoffs the year before or have a good chance to make it. Like the Chiefs didn't make it, but they still have a good chance to bounce back. I just don't. I get Giants, Cowboys Sunday night, week 1. I get it. It's a rivalry. We don't know if the Giants are going to be good or bad, but probably not great. I just don't love that matchup. It's not a rivalry either. Why not put like Vikings Lions, week 16? That would be awesome. They don't like each other. You know what I mean? Put a rivalry out there. Just That's really the only game I have a huge problem with. They have, I don't think Falcons Saints is all that sexy, but it's a division rival. Panthers Buccaneers, week 12, once again, division rival. So every other game you can make argument that makes sense, except for that one.
Now, I mean, I want to watch my Bengals and the Commanders, but I think that game the week before that's an interesting game to me. Chargers at Ravens.
The Jesse Minter Bowl.
Yes, the Jesse Minter Bowl. But we keep saying that. I know you've said it. I keep saying that until Herbert proves it to me, I'm not gonna put him in the playoffs. Just spoiler alert, if we do, I'm sure we're gonna do our predictions later on in the season. He's not gonna be in the playoffs for me. But this could be a game to where he could have a prove it game. He could go to Baltimore and they could win. I like this matchup really well on that Week 10 slate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that should be a lot of fun. And I just realized the Giants play Week 2 at the Rams. That's another terrible game. The Rams are going to have 4 extra days to prepare because they play in Australia. Why are we putting the Giants on these? Very few teams get 2 Monday night games. Like, why are the Giants getting 2? Somebody explain to me what about the Giants makes you want to put them on Monday night. Of all the teams you could give 2 games to, there's very few teams that get 2 Monday night games. The Seahawks, I see, have 2.
Yeah.
Chiefs do, but Seahawks win the Super Bowl. Makes sense. I don't know.
Washington does.
Like
Dallas does.
We talked about spreads. There's a chance that could be a 14-point spread. Giants at Rams Week 2. Why is that a game? I don't know. Giants fans are going to hate this podcast, but whatever. I just
they're allowed to comment.
Pretty bad last year.
Yeah. Just click it and comment. We'll trash you after your comment too.
Dolphins fans hate me with my videos the last few weeks. Absolutely hate me. But you know what? I should send all of them my videos on Caleb Downs and how good he is. They don't understand.
Okay, they don't understand. All right.
I think
I'm not sure about
Caleb
that,
Proctor is Laramie Tunsil. It's like he's not. He's not even close.
All right. Let's put our border back up here for just a second while we chit chat here. We'll get to the Thursday night and the Sunday night games, and then anything else that we need to talk about here before it's all said and done. But Cheese, you mentioned some of these teams. They're rewarding some teams that maybe they shouldn't reward. Right, the Giants. So you also have the schedule in front of you that says how many teams get multiple playoff games.
Primetime games.
Excuse me, primetime games. Thank you for correcting me. Look at that number for me. Tell me, I think somebody has like 9 games, right?
No, the Rams have 7. That's the most.
Okay. So how about under them? So the Rams I can get. They went to the Super Bowl. Okay, yeah, I won't trash them.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's still
right.
It's a lot, but yeah, 7 of the 17. 6 is Green Bay, Kansas City, Buffalo, Seattle. Makes sense. They're big draws, even though this Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. There's big draws. And then after that, 5, Dallas, Philadelphia, Chicago, New England, San Francisco. Real quick, I just want to talk about Chicago for a second.
Okay. Imagine you, the Green Bay guy, wanting to talk about Chicago. I'm shocked, but go ahead, sir.
Well, here's the thing. So Chicago played a very easy schedule. They played a last place schedule last year. Okay. And they won, if you count the playoffs, 6 games where they were trailing in the 2-minute warning. Okay. The chances of winning a game when you trail at 2-minute warning by one score, are about 20% in the NFL. You win 20% of those games when you have the ball, 2-minute warning, down less than 1 score. They won 6 of those. So if they win 3 of those, they finish last in division. And their schedule is brutal. It's a much tougher schedule. I see a lot of regression here from the Bears. So I would not have put them in 5 primetime games. I get why they did, but I think Chicago, if Kyler Murray plays well, I think the Bears are going to finish last in the division.
Interesting. If Kyler Murray plays well. I mean, there's a little bit of a caveat there.
Yeah, the Vikings, I mean, we just don't know if their quarterback play will be good. Like, they have a good roster, but we just don't know.
I think it'll be interesting as far as Kyler Murray goes. If he does something this year, then he's going to get another good-sized contract. Or if he just says, you know what, I've gotten paid like right around $300 million or so when it's all said and done. Yeah, you know what, I think I've made enough money. I don't even really need to play this year. I'll just come out here and go through the motions and see what I'm doing. I think it's going to be interesting to see which Kyler Murray we get. The go through the motions guy or the guy who wants another big contract.
we mentioned this on Tuesday.
Mhm.
Apparently, he was an amazing baseball player. I really think he should have just played baseball. He was a top 10 pick of the A's. Just he should have played. And you don't take hits. You know, I think he was going to play baseball, and then he won the Heisman. So he just had this unbelievable college year. And it's like, oh, I can be the first pick.
And that right there, that would have been his strike zone because he's only okay, anyway. So yeah, he had a really
You
small
win every
strike zone.
challenge.
He'd have won every challenge. Oh man, it'd have been called the Kyler Murray Challenge System. Anyway, all right, let's take a look at the Sunday night roster here. Let's see. Let me take the banner off the top again here real fast. I clicked the wrong button. Hold on, I'll get it for us. All right, there we go. Sunday night football games, ladies and gentlemen. So week 1, Dallas again, New York. Don't like that matchup.
But it's a rival. So I get it.
Yeah, I still don't like the matchup. A team that we're
Jerry Jones called in some favors. We want that game, and we want to play the worst team in our division, so we have a chance to win. Come on, you know that, right?
I know, but then he gets 3 of these Sunday night football games. You know, you get the week 1,
and he gets Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he always gets Thanksgiving. So,
yeah.
Do you think the NFL shows favoritism to some of these teams?
Yes. The Chiefs, the Cowboys, of course. Of course. Do you?
You said that so fast and so quirky. You made me cough, man. I had to mute that real quick.
What do you think, Mike? I mean, do you, there's certain teams that we see get favored over others, even if they're like the Chiefs were terrible last year. They have 6 primetime games, second most to the Rams. I mean, don't you agree?
Oh yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure what you were going to say. Sometimes
Absolutely.
the guys and gals who love football so much are so blind that they'll be like, "Oh no, this is a great game and it's all fair," and no. So I respect the fact that you're able to see that and you can take your football blinders off and look at it. So, which one of the division games do you think is going to be the best Sunday night football matchup here? I mean, you've got lots of them. A lot of these are division games. You got Steelers, Bengals. You've got, let's see here, Detroit, Minnesota. Let's see. I was thinking there was more than this.
Cowboys, Giants.
Cowboys, Giants, yeah.
Yeah, there's not a ton, but
I guess there's not. No.
I tell you one that I think was a mistake, and I would have loved it like later in the year. Okay. What if Daniel Jones isn't ready to go to start the season? And what if Patrick Mahomes is not ready to go to start the season? Right? What if we get Anthony Richardson versus Justin Fields in week 2? Like, I don't want to, I mean, we'll have 14 completions total in the game. I mean, like the quarterback rushing totals will be like
one of those will be a flea flicker to the running back.
Yeah. I just think early in the year, you don't want to schedule the Colts or Chiefs because their quarterbacks are coming off major injuries. So I don't necessarily love that scheduling. Like I said, week 8 or 9, I think that's going to be fun. The Colts had the best record after 10 weeks last year. Obviously the Chiefs probably will bounce back. And then the Mexico City. So Sunday night in Mexico City. Oh yeah, because Mexico City's not dangerous. I love that idea. Yeah, let's do that. Gosh, I don't know.
It's like Maryville games out here. We have the Milwaukee Brewers playing a spot out here for spring training called Maryville. That's it's just not a nice neighborhood. And we'll just leave it at that. But because of that,
oh sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, no, just because of that, there's never a night. Never a game at night during spring training in Maryville. That's all you need to know.
Cool. I'm going to ask you this. So,
sure.
Vikings went 9-8 last year. Do you think because it was JJ McCarthy, they have 4 primetime games, including 2 Sunday night games here. Do you think if they had not signed Murray, if they had just had JJ McCarthy, do you think they would have 4 primetime games and 2 Sunday nights?
It's a good question because if the Cardinals would have kept Kyler Murray, would they have any primetime games with him?
They might.
Right. So, yeah, I kind of think that has something to do with it.
I do too.
I think, like me, Kyler Murray is something I want to watch throughout the season. And I think because of that, that's why they're putting him on here. There's so many ifs with not only him, but with J.J. McCarthy as well. So when you get one of these controversial type teams, they seem to want to put them in prime time, and I totally understand why.
Yeah, I think that's a big factor. I think if they don't sign a quarterback, they're not. Yeah, they're not getting 4. They'll probably get 2 at most. That's what I think.
All right. I do want to talk about the PUP list, but not today, because somebody on your Packers looks like he might start on the PUP list as well. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
It won't be this coming Tuesday because Cheese will not be with us this coming Tuesday. He has decided to take vacation, a much-needed vacation. I was going to talk bad about him for a moment, but I won't. I'll let him.
I've done this a year straight. I joined this podcast a year ago. I've done it a year. I have not missed a single Tuesday. So,
yes.
yeah.
Well, you act like I've missed 8 of them. I've not
missed
missed
0
one either,
too,
and I
yes.
was doing it way before you were, sir. Back when it was the Sports Truth, and back when it was the 643 and Out podcast,
I remember
and everything
Mitch.
else. So,
I remember Mitch. I came on as a guest star when Mitch was doing it. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
We knew you had talent way back when, sir. So there you go. Sunday night
That
football
makes
games.
one of us.
All right, man. Calm down over here. Sunday night football games right there. So we'll take a look at the Thursday night football games here in just a second. Anything you want to talk about in between those two, sir? You just want to jump right into
one more
Sunday
team
night.
I want to mention. Washington. So I wish they were the Redskins, but the Commanders, they were in the NFC title game a year and a half ago, and they made some veteran additions. They thought they were ready to compete. Turns out they got hot. They weren't really great, but they should be better. They overachieved that year, underachieved this year. However, their first 3 games are brutal. You starting 0-3 is devastating. The chance of making the playoffs is next to nothing when you start 0-3. They're at Philadelphia, at Dallas, and then Seattle Seahawks, the world champions, at home. That's the first 3 games for Washington. So, yeah, those are big games for them. And even then they play the Colts, who were 9-1 at one point. They're at San Francisco week 6, right before the bye. So they have a real tough beginning of their season. So they're a real fascinating team to watch, because I think I could see them winning like 12 games. I could see them winning 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Ramen on Wheels.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
We appreciate you being on.
Yeah. I don't know what that emoji means. What
I'm not sure. I can't really see it. I'm old, and I don't want to get too close to the screen and scare people. So
okay.
She might be whistling. I don't know.
I don't know. I think she's just being like smug, maybe like smug, like
yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe.
She's riding around on her wheels and she's showing off to everybody. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's do a last thing here. We're gonna keep this right at about an hour. So let's put the Thursday night slate on the screen there, so I don't have to move the banner at the top for this one. It's the Thursday night schedule. Cheese, what jumps out at you besides the fact that your Packers have 2 Thursday night games?
2 home games, huge. We talked about that earlier in the pod.
Mm-hmm.
Having a home Thursday game is a tremendous advantage, because the opposing team has to spend a whole day traveling. So you gain when it's a whole week. Okay, so you have 7 days, they have 6. When you have 4, they have 3. That's a huge advantage. Plus, you're tired. You just played Sunday, so big advantage for Green Bay in both games. But I love watching Ravens-Bengals games. New Year's Eve, I'm so looking forward to that. In the 2024 season, they had the 2 best games, like in the regular season, of the year. They were epic.
Mm-hmm.
One of them went to overtime. They were both just right down to the wire. Unfortunately for you, the Ravens won both, but I'm really looking forward to that game. What about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm tired of you stabbing me in the heart all the time. I mean, we have to talk about my Cardinals for 10 minutes, and now it's like, oh, well, they just happened to get beat by the Ravens both times. Gee,
but they were fun games. I'm calling it's fun, and that could
not fun if you lose in the end, Cheese.
Hold on, let me say that could be a really important game, because I think the Bengals. I think both teams did not make the playoffs last year. Yeah, they didn't. I think both are. I'm going to predict both will. I think they're both going to bounce back. So I think that could be a huge game for the division. The winner of that game may be for the division. So New Year's Eve, really looking forward to it. I'm stoked. What about you? What game besides that?
Okay, so we're going to go besides that one. Let me see here. I'm actually going to go with Seattle Denver. That matchup was really good last year. If you have Bo Nix this year, it's really going to make it intriguing, I think.
They should have
So-
played in the Super Bowl. If Bo Nix
Mhm.
was healthy, they would have. It would have been a much better game. Do you agree?
No, 100%. You're 100% right. I'm actually looking forward to the very first game too. Lions Bills. I think that's a really, really good matchup, and I'd like to put this out there for our fans. Tweet us, message us, get a hold of either Cheese and I. We're going to do Cheese. Let's put it out there. We're going to do at least 3 of these Thursday night games as watch-alongs. Let our fans pick which 3 they'd like to see us do.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You
No.
all right
No.
with that?
No.
I mean,
Yeah. Obviously, some of these games there might be scheduling conflicts. We can't guarantee it. Mike
Right.
or myself might not be able to, so we can't guarantee it. So don't get mad if you pick one and we can't do it. So
we're just not going to say anybody picked that one. I mean, we have control over this stuff, sir. That's the reason
Right.
why we
Right,
have
right.
the
Just throwing
podcast
it
and
out
nobody
there.
else. All right.
I'll say this one more game. I just want to. You mentioned Lions Bills. In December 2024 season, it was a Sunday night game. It was an amazing game. It was 48-42. Buffalo went into Detroit and won, and it just was. I'm pretty sure there was one punt the entire game. I think the Bills punter didn't even punt. Like it was one of those games. So should be a lot of scoring. That should be a lot of fun. Week 2 and. There's the Browns primetime game, Steelers Browns. At least it's early in this season. Yeah, that game might be 10-6 final score.
Yeah, you never know.
And there's the Giants again in week 10. They pop up everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but okay. We've talked about that ad nauseum. I think we understand that there's a few teams that are going to get games no matter how good or how bad they are. So just because of the market that they're in and other factors as well. So
yeah, Patriots Texans also get 2 games as well.
Yeah, but I like that.
Yeah,
Patriots again should be rewarded, right? Texans went to the playoffs as well, should be rewarded. I like the idea of rewarding those playoff teams with these games. So I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. San Francisco, LA too.
But Buccaneers Cowboys.
Yeah, actually, if you
high
really
scoring
look at
game.
this,
What?
maybe we should have said which games are not good games. I mean, really,
Yeah. This is a really
all
good
these
slate.
games are pretty good.
So Thursday night used to be we let every team do. I don't know if you know. Yeah, I'm sure you know. This, but they used to let every team have one game, and Al Michaels just a couple of years ago just whined and complained. This is terrible. Like late games, late in the season, they'd have games like Jets Saints or something, and he would just complain the whole broadcast. And so they made an effort to make better games. Like instead of letting every team have one, we're going to actually put good games out there because Al Michaels was going to have a heart attack. I mean, he's over 70. So that's why they changed it. But it used to be every team got a Thursday night game. And what do you think? Do you think it's better now? Or should we let every team have one?
Oh, tell me the teams that don't have a primetime game again. Arizona, New York. What were the other ones?
Arizona, New York Jets, Tennessee Titans, Miami Dolphins, and Las Vegas Raiders. And then the Saints also don't have a Thursday night game.
Well, they don't have a Thursday night game, but the Saints do have a couple primetime games, right?
They have one.
One
Yes.
games. Okay.
They have a Monday night game. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you should let every team have a game. To be really honest with you, I mean, I'm a little bummed that my Cardinals don't have one. I would be upset if my Bengals didn't have one.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a little surprised. Yeah. Well, the Bengals they play on New Year's Eve. What are you talking about? They're right there, New Year's Eve against the Ravens.
Oh no, I said I would be upset if they didn't have.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. That's gonna be a crazy game.
I don't know. If it's going to be something like that, then let Arizona play Tennessee in a game, and one of them's got to win or something like that, right? That would be my only caveat to it is I don't want the Cardinals to get slaughtered by a team, on Thursday night or on Monday night, or I don't want the Titans to get slaughtered by a team. At least give them a game that with that team there, it's going to still be competitive.
Yeah, Ravens have 2 games as well. If they do like Titans, Cardinals, it would need to be like in the first 5 weeks though. Like you can't put that late in the season. That was the biggest problem. Al Michaels was losing his mind. There was a game, I think it was Jaguars Titans, where they had 2 of the 3 worst records in the NFL, like late in the year. And he just complained the whole broadcast. It was really entertaining, actually. I watched it. Most people didn't. I watched it because I'll watch any game. But yeah.
Well, and that brings me to the point that I made earlier is, there are tons of people out there like you who just simply love football. I mean, if the AFL and the USFL and all these different football leagues can survive, then that means there's just obvious diehards out there who will watch pretty much anything if it has a ball with laces on it instead of stitches or instead of, whatever else is going to be. So I'm not sure if I like all these great primetime games because you're taking away, then you look at Sunday. Okay, when now I'm at Sunday and there is like nothing on, and I've got to watch a game at noon, and I've got to watch a game at 4, and then oh my gosh, we got this terrible Sunday night game, and I think that's just as bad as saying that we don't want to have every team to have a primetime game.
Yeah, I think the week of Thanksgiving might be bad on Sunday because of that. They put all the good games on. I was trying to find the Sunday. What was the Sunday night game that week? We don't have to worry about it. But yeah, that could be the only issue. Apparently, it's New England versus. Okay, it's New England versus the Chargers. Okay, so that's just a really strong week. Yeah. I mean, you want the 4:00 game to be good as well. You want Thursday night game. You want the 4:25 game. You want the Sunday night and the Monday night. At least those 4 to all be good games, like watchable games. You don't want like Rams versus Dolphins. You don't want that game for any of those. So yeah, I agree.
I don't want that game, period. But
Dolphins are going to be awful. Their fans hate me because I tell the truth on the channel. Their draft was terrible. It was absolutely awful. You passed on Caleb Downs for Caden Proctor. I still just like it. But you know what? I'll say this about Dolphins fans.
Mm-hmm.
I watch a lot of film, and I was mesmerized at what Caleb Downs does, like how he affects the game, the plays he makes, his instincts, just how he can play deep safety in the box. He can cover. Like he's an amazing player. Once in a lifetime type, like one every 20 years type safety. So they haven't watched the film I have, so they don't understand. But the Dolphins have. The Dolphins front office has, and they should have drafted him.
Okay, let's just beat that dead dolphin some more. So it's kind of like beating a dead horse, but it's the marine animal version. So all right. Cheese, tell us one more time, buddy, where can we find you at? And give us an idea of what you're going to be doing over the next few days.
Football with Cheese on YouTube, THEEZ like Cheese It, and then Football Cheese on X without the with. I am going on vacation. I'm going to be in Orlando. So, it's going to be fun going to Universal Studios. Yeah, anyone going to be there? I will be there next week. So, just getting out of town, out of Texas.
Done. You know how many autograph seekers are now going to be in Orlando?
Yes. Oh, they're going to be all over it. All the chicks are going to be like, "Oh, he's going to be there! Oh my God!" I'm taken, ladies. I'm taken. Sorry, I am attached. But yeah, I'm going to be in Orlando, so it's gonna. Yeah, I pre-recorded videos for my channel. Don't worry. Oh, there she goes again. I pre-recorded videos.
That was me.
So I have content next week on my channel, so it's not like I've already recorded videos. I'm doing the 5 biggest moves for every team. I did the NFC West this week. Next week, AFC West. I've already recorded all those videos. So in fact, you'll see this t-shirt in all those videos because I recorded them. But yeah, I will be out next week, but Mike's got a great guest host. So make sure you watch on Tuesday.
All right. Well, you've set me up pretty good. We're getting ready to add one more person. Not everybody that's going to watch this probably knows this. And even some people who are with us right now are going to be a little shocked because I'm going to say it now and I haven't told everybody. But All Eras Sports with Sirhan is coming back to All Gloves Off Sports Media. He was with us for a little while, had an injury, said goodbye, couldn't really do anything, but now he's going to come back. And this coming Tuesday, he will be my guest host right here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. So everybody, come join us, support us, and then be ready to watch All Era Sports with Sirhan coming soon to All Gloves Off Sports Media.
Yeah, I like Sirhan. I like his videos on X. So yeah, make sure you guys check it out on Tuesday. And yeah, I will be riding the Harry Potter stuff and the Hulk coaster and all of that at Universal Studios.
And well, I don't think you're going to be able to ride anything now because you put it out there that you're going to be there, and there will be so many women and so many guys trying to get your autograph there that you're not going to be able to watch anything or be able to ride anything.
I'll hire security.
There you go.
I'll hire security. So yeah. Yeah.
Security with cheese. Okay. That's the new show.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. You ever been to Universal Studios?
I have not, sir. No.
Are you a roller coaster guy?
I am a roller coaster guy, actually.
Okay. I love them.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All right, buddy. Sounds good. Appreciate you coming on with us. You have been with us here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast NFL schedule release show. If you have anything else that you'd like to ask us about before Cheese goes on vacation, go over to his X, direct message him. He answers all of those. Or just comment on his videos that he's going to be doing. Today you did the San Francisco 49ers. Tomorrow is the 5 biggest moves done by?
The Seahawks is tomorrow.
Seattle Seahawks are tomorrow. All right, yes. Fantastic. And as
World champion, Seattle Seahawks.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, thank you guys for being with us. As we always say at the very end of every one of these broadcasts, we appreciate you. And the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base lines. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much.